Hello Stamping friends, this is Sharon Armstrong, your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I wanted to show you a really cute card that was in our demonstrator magazine that we get every 2 months. It's called Stampin' Success. There's lots of tips and tricks in there. But the fun thing that I saw was this Good Manly Project is hard to find. Loved this vest. But however, they were talking about other things in here, but they didn't give us the instructions. So I had to sit down and try to figure out the best way for me to make up a bunch of these since Father's Day is coming. The paper that I decided to use was the Adventure Bound paper. If you did not get this yet out of the Occasions catalog, it has just got the prettiest manly paper in here. And I highly recommend that you grab some before it's gone. So I'm going to use this piece, this blue. The stamp set that I'm using is also from the Occasions catalog. It's Guy Greetings, and I want to use the Happy Father's Day because I need to make quite a few Father's Day cards. I'm going to be using the envelope punch board to create my vest. Excuse me. And on the punch board, I looked to see what size I wanted my card, and I wanted 4 by 5.5. So my paper size is 7 7/8, and my first score line is going to be at 3 3/8. So depending on what size card you want, that's how you figure out how to start. So I'm using Early Espresso, and I've already cut it to 7 7/8. So I'm going to line this up to 3 3/8. I'm going to punch, and then I'm going to score. I will turn the paper and line it up with that score line, and I know it's really hard to see on the video, but I've lined it up with that. Punch again, score, turn it, line it up, punch, score, turn it, line it up, punch, and score. Okay, so now I have all my score lines. Take my paper trimmer, and I want to trim off the shorter ends because the larger flaps are going to be my vest. So I'm going to take it to the paper trimmer and line it up. Flip it over. And then, okay. So go ahead and give this a good crease using my bone folder. All right, so I want to take my blue paper, and this is going to be my pattern for my vest. I'm using a blue Sharpie just so that you can see on the video, but I'm going to line this up with using my flap. Just going to trace that. Then using my snips, I'm going to cut this out. You don't want to take this to your paper trimmer because we need the other piece for the other side. So just in case I was reading your mind, don't do it. Use your scissors. Okay, so we have that flap done. And then this flap is going to be, let me just show you, let me give you a visual, okay? So we're just going to take this piece and we're going to do the same thing. And then trim that off. Okay, so now I'm just going to take my snail and put it on my flap. And I'm going to put quite a bit. I just don't want it to fall off. And then I will take this piece and line that up. Push it down. And I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing to the other side because I want enough snail to close it, so it's okay that I'm putting it all over, even though I have a little valley effect right here. And then we're going to do the same thing on this side. Just line that up. Okay. And I see that I have a little bit hanging off, so I'm going to go ahead and trim that a little bit. And it's because the Sharpie's so fat, that's why I have some excess. But I'd rather have it too big than not big enough. Okay, so then you just take it and close it up because we already had snail right there. So see how fun that is? All right, so now let's take our insert, and I cut it already just for the sake of the video, but what I did was I cut 6 1/4 inches, and then I came in and cut in 1 inch on each side, and then I trimmed off with my snips. I just cut about 1/4 inch off of each side. Then that allowed me to have my little shirt, and I'm going to take some dimensionals and put them on either side, on both sides, and do this. Okay, remove the backing. I tried just using snail to stick it down, but I didn't like it being so flat, so you can kind of play with yours, but I liked having that little bit of poof right there. All right, so now for our stamping, you want to stamp in the middle of the card because you don't want it, let me just show you a visual here. We don't want it to be peeking out of the vest, so that's why I'm saying stamp in the middle of the card. And just go ahead and I'm using Early Espresso and the Happy Father's Day stamp, and just stamp right there. Okay, so now for our bow tie. Oh, let me show you some of the other cards I've done. I've done this pattern with the fun yellow bow tie. I did this pattern with the plaid bow tie, and oh, and do you see, whoops, came off a little bit. And do you see the little plaid pocket thing and the little pocket thing? We're going to show you how to do that. So I decided this time I wanted a red bow tie. So I'm taking the Bow Builder punch and I'm punching out 2 of these. I thought maybe red might show up better on the video anyway. Okay. So then you'll take your bone folder and you're going to take this and just kind of give it a little curl. Makes putting the bow together a lot easier. And then we're going to take our glue dots, put one there, fold that over so we have that side. And I like to just keep my snips closed and lift off those glue dots. Seems like I always have snips on my table, so it's a very handy tool to use. And then close that up. And then we'll take another glue dot, put that on top, put our bow together. And then we need to fix that seam, so that's what this little piece is for. We're going to give that a curl. Whoops, hard to hold on to. And a curl. Then we're going to get another glue dot. And we're going to put it right there. And then just wrap this around. Oops. And we have our bow. Our bow tie, not a bow. All right, so let's take our shirt And I'm going to use more glue dots. And put them on the bow. One on either side. And then put that on. And I'm going to use my bone folder again, and I want to push down and kind of rub that to make sure, because I don't want to smush it or else my bow won't be fluffy like a regular tie. So let's put this in. Oh, it's coming together. The only thing that we need now is our little pocket. And the piece from the bow, that there was 2 of them. I don't know if you noticed, but there were 2 of them. These are extras, but there were 2 of them. So I'm going to use that for my pocket. And then, where's my blue paper? So this was my scraps, okay? And I'm just going to cut off a piece of this corner. And then I'm going to stick this together with my snail. Oh, right there. If it was a snake, it would have bit me. Let's see. So I want to put some on here. I know this is really probably hard to see on the video, but we're going to put this right here. And it might be a little bit longer, but that's okay. We can just trim it off. Let me show you. So see how it's sticking over? So just trim that side, trim that side, put snail on the kerchief. Oh, guess what? I did blue on blue. Ha ha. Okay. Well, what you really want is a contrast. Okay. So I should have used the red. Oh, only on a video. Okay. So we're gonna pretend that we have a pocket there like this, but you saw how I did it. Okay. So sorry about that. I'm telling you, when you make these videos, you think you know what you're doing, and sometimes you don't. So I apologize. But so I'll go back and put another bow on there. But I do want to show you the button technique that I did. And I had from the piece that I cut off of my card, I just had this piece of scrap, and I just took and did a little sliver like that. So tiny. And I thread it through my button for thread. And then I'm just going to fold that down, smush it down a bit. And then I'm going to use my glue dots. Love my glue dots. And I'm going to put it on the back of that. And that is my button. Okay, for the sake of the video, this one doesn't have a little kerchief coming out, but these 2 do. I hope you enjoyed this fun card, and I tell you, I have made 5 of them just like that. So I hope this helps you, and because man cards are hard to do. So have fun and happy stamping.